Welcome everyone, this is Glenda Dawson and you're watching channel messages from different light beings and councils that are here to help us. We do this every week and this streams on Sundays, 7 p.m. Eastern. If you're watching this, please, we would love it if you could share it, if you could like it, if you could subscribe. And then this way others may be able to also receive the benefit of it. You could also join us if you wish. Just contact me at glendasmagicalcreations.com. Send me a message there, or if you see me in any social media, you can just send me a message and, we could discuss you coming on. You don't have to have your camera on. You don't even have to have your real name on here. So if that was what has been stopping you, that's absolutely no problem. We do have a member today, Jazz. Welcome, Jazz. And before I forget, for those that have never done this before, we usually get some coordinates that are kind of like GPS coordinates for lack of wording. And we travel there. We astral project there. We travel. We see everything that they show us. And when I say see, it could be a feeling. It could just be a knowing, or it could be that you see it actually with your third eye. But in any case, you might hear light language, which you don't even have to understand it. Just know the vibrations that you're receiving when we speak the light language. A lot of the times they talk through us. They use our vocal cords to say what they need to say. And it's usually to help humanity ascend, to help humanity grow, to help humanity in general, to help humanity remember who they truly are. But it is always based on love, on protection, on balance, on unity, on the oneness that we all are a part of. And if you don't know how to go, you should set your intention. I want to go where they're going. And believe me, your spiritual team will get you there, because just the request is all they need, due to the fact that we have free will. So again, I'm sorry, Jazz. Welcome, Jazz. And how are you today?
Very well, thank you. Glad to be here.
Yes, I am glad you're here too. And I am sure that everybody that is with us is also very glad and happy that you're here. I want to also state, when we're doing this, we are not paying attention to the chat room. But please, if you have any comments or you are enjoying this or whatever the case may be, any questions, do leave them in the chat room and I will review the chat room later and I will message back or respond right in the chat room, which you'll be able to see. Everyone just can close their eyes and take a few deep, slow breaths just to put your body in a nice, centered way. as we ask those beings, those light beings that want to participate today to join us, surround us, protect us. And I open the floor now to anyone that receives coordinates. At this moment, it'd be you or I, Jazz. So if you have coordinates,
Getting 2, 2, 3, 7, 6, 1. Turquoise.
Mhm.
2, 2, 3, 7, 6, 1. Turquoise.
22 Ascended Master, 10, which is 1. And then what was the last two numbers?
6, 1.
6, 1, the number 7, which is also lucky. And turquoise, the color, what a beautiful color. That's a lot of the times associated with royalty, with just like violet. And healing, of course. Hmm. Okay, I am there. Now, do you wish to share what you are experiencing?
I'm still discerning, so go ahead.
Okay. I am in a very interesting place where the turquoise is beautiful water, turquoise color. And it's like I'm in the water, but I'm also outside the water in a sandy area, like a mountain but it's not a mountain, but you see the water here, and then you see the sand up here in a cavey kind of way. And I'm standing up there looking down at the water and at myself, and I'm seeing from the water, looking up at myself outside the water. Like I said, it's very interesting. Very calming, both sides, and very healing. And that is where I am right now. I am seeing, say for example, I'm seeing an octopus, but it's got little, it looks like lights, but it's not lights, it's reflective. So it kind of like reflects different shades, kind of like the scaly reflection of a dragon, but it's like octopus and whales and fish. They all have that same um, reflection of different colors, blues and greens and violets, just meshing in. And I am hearing very soft background, but very beautiful, kind of gives me chills type of music. Um, there's like beautiful voices, which, for lack of terms, angelic voices. And then I'm hearing like violins and trumpets and but it's just a beautiful melody. Um, which is sending very calming, healing vibrations out from where they're playing, which is they're floating. They're in the middle of nowhere in space, sort of right there. And that you could see the vibrations just floating out to the rest of the world all around. Um, Obviously, we're not, doesn't look like Earth to me. It definitely looks like a different place, a different planet. Um, but the music is beautiful, very soothing, calming, and the voices are, like I said, they're sending chills because it just resonates so much. And kind of like breaking down the vibration or the low vibration or on the cellular level of fear, of guilt, of desperation, of panic, um, of hate. I'm feeling like these notes, these frequencies are being sent out to help raise uh, the, the human being to be able to cut through that negative, those negative low vibrations, those negative low frequencies that we are experiencing at any given moment. And they're helping us continue to raise, continue to ascend.
Being asked to surrender our fears, no matter what they are, whether it's related to work or society or politics or whatever, family, to surrender those fears that we hold on to that prevent us from moving forward,
Mhm.
fears that block us, fears that are unreasonable. Some are reasonable, not all, but just to let go.
Mhm.
The frequencies are there to help you walk through the process of surrender. And you should know too that when you surrender, you're not, part of me really hates this term, but you're not losing control. You're not surrendering your understanding of things. You're surrendering that you don't have all the tools. You don't have um, all that is needed to go beyond that fear on your own. So here you can surrender. You can safely let go of it and be filled with what you need to move forward.
Yes, those frequencies are creating that safe space, that safe box, say, where you could just take those fears, pluck them out, and put them in there. It's kind of like when, right before you go to bed, you take off all your jewelry and you put it in a certain place. Well, they're saying do the same. Release it so you can be free to continue to ascend and have your vibrations carry you up instead of keeping you stagnant or decreasing you, putting you further down.
Another analogy might be taking makeup off. You peel away the mask that um, you wear during the daytime, that outward public persona, and you have opened the door to being vulnerable.
Mhm. Now, I'm seeing a couple of different birds. One is a raven, one is a hawk, and the other one is a beautiful dove. And yet, all three are flying together even though they are kind of different. They're still birds, but they're different. But they're flying together and helping each other, especially when, say, the dove flies slower than the hawk or the raven, and they kind of slow themselves down to help the dove be part of them. So they don't want to leave anybody behind. They're all together. They're all birds. And they flying together. They made that commitment as birds to help each other. And maybe that what they're trying to say is that as beings here on earth, that we should take a kind of like a lesson from them and continue to help each other and try to continue to rise as a group, bring our vibrations up as a group. Not any one of us is going to be at 100% any given moment. So if you see your fellow man or woman having a problem that day, give a hand. But it's a human. We're all humans, most of us anyway. But we still here in this meat suit. And honor that meat suit. Honor the soul that's inside that meat suit. Continue to be united. Continue to learn and be vulnerable, like Jazz said. Surrender, like Jazz said. But also be willing to be on the other side and help. Give a helping hand.
It's interesting the three identified birds, in that you would often think of the hawk being predator with the dove and or the raven.
Mm-hmm.
Raven being very independent. The hawk can be predatory. And the dove obviously is the sign of peace. And yet they're working together, which just kind of blows away preconceived notions of people in our lives who may be thorns,
Mm-hmm.
or we perceive as thorns. And they can actually, when you work together, you can actually do tremendous work together.
Mm-hmm. And
It's
then,
kind of, it's about taking risks
mm-hmm.
too, to walk across the bridge and recognize that just because we on the surface might perceive somebody as hawkish, if you will, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're not willing to work with you to achieve greater unity.
Mm-hmm. Correct. And as birds, they're defending birds and helping birds. And at that moment, seeing what each one of them can contribute and what each one of them needs extra help with. I'm seeing mantises, whole group of them, which is very interesting. Hmm. I guess birds of the sea, right? Of the water. The way they swim around. They can represent the way that the birds fly. Anything else?
Like, I went someplace else, but you were describing something so interesting, I had to come back and check it out, which is all good. I just like, okay. Hmm.
Ah, sorry. Yeah, it's like they want us to go, but I just corner of my eye, I saw them. I was like, "Ooh, look at that!" Uh, they're kind of reflective, kind of. So it's very interesting. Now, what I did here is that it is a representation of a planetary system that, as all of us know, most of us come from different backgrounds and different planets. This system exists or existed. I'm not sure if it's presently existing, but this is where we all work together, no matter what the species was. And that is why I saw myself from outside the water, in the water, and from inside in the water to outside, out out of the water. Um, Basically saying that it doesn't make any difference where you are, whether you're flying or walking or swimming. It's still a effort, coordinated effort, and a combined effort to help each other and work with each other for the survival of all. To just trust. Things may get hairy sometimes and may be a bit turbulent sometimes, but trust that it will work out. Open your heart and let love in and share love.
Interesting. You mentioned before the different vibrations and different sounds, melodic sounds that you were hearing. And I've just been watching the water. Um, when you have a metal plate, you've got sand on top of it, you put a tuning fork to it, all different geometric patterns begin to shape and whatnot based on the frequency.
Mhm.
And that's kind of what I'm seeing in the water. Only instead of with sand, it's the water itself, though it's kind of percolating in different and making these beautiful designs. And even though there are times that we're challenged in life and it causes our ego con uh, consternation, um, the patterns, because we're willing to go through whatever that is, oftentimes are rich and deep, and we have to realize that sometimes the mud that we have to muck through often has very, very, very beautiful results in the end. It's not fun necessarily going through it, but if we allow ourselves to step back from whatever that is, we can see a beautiful tapestry sometimes. And it takes a lot of courage to be able to do that. But it's also something that we're receiving the fortification to be able to do.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Sorry, I'm getting a push to let's go. That's why I was like, okay, okay. Okay. I got coordinates. 4222211. 4222211. She's got a pat on the head. Anyway.
It's a chilly shift.
Yeah. I know. It's like, ooh. So ooh, I can't even explain yet what I'm experiencing.
It's a polar shift.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
you go from the serene beauty that we were experiencing to um, the thing that I can compare it to is um, being in a very frigid zone on Earth that would resemble something like the Arctic, or but there's beautiful northern lights type energies moving all around us.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but it's such a direct opposite from where we were as far as climate.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm getting cold too. Anyway, they forgot to give me my coat.
In the sky, there's a lot of blues and greens and purple.
Mhm. Now there is a being, which let me see if I could get a name. It's a very long name, but they agreed that I could call them Roxy. Um, Starts with an R, and after that, uh, but we agreed on the Roxy part. So, Roxy is a being that keeps changing in form. In one moment, for example, it's a female. In another moment, it's a male. In another moment, it's some type of an animal. In another moment, it's just some type of being, galactic being. You know. Um, in another moment, it's just energy. So there is no constant. Um, no constant.
Representation,
Right. Right. Exactly.
but that's reflective of us, who we are.
Hmm.
Uh, Look at our day in total moments. We have shifted from all kinds of energies and all kinds of feelings, attitudes, up and down the scale.
Hmm.
And he's basically affirming the fact that it's okay to wear 1,000 masks, if you will, or be 1,000 different entities, which kind of feels weird to say.
Hmm. I'm glad you said it because I was like,
Thanks.
You're
No,
welcome.
you know, we get hung up on the stereotypes that are projected to us through media, TV, ads, whatever. And there are images that we falsely identify, but if we just allow ourselves to be, we can be actually quite fascinating in and of itself. We don't need any extra augmentation, I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I keep getting a abominable snowman type image of a being. And he just came up with this huge smile when my last statement. So I guess we're somewhat on track. I don't know. It's kind of funky.
Yep. Yep. I experienced that too. That's why I was laughing. Because as soon as you said that, it just looked and smiled like this grin. Um, it's basically saying that no matter where you are or what you think you are or what others or what you think others are, we're all souls. We're all beings. We're all energy. That's how we started. And those vibrations that they're trying to send to us, or they are sending to us from the other place, is to help us remember that we are just beings, we're just energy. And the energy and the beings in our soul react to those vibrations of healing, those positive vibrations, just like they do negative, but they're trying to send us positive so we can grab that and unplug from all the negative, unplug from everything that's holding us down, that's holding us in a box, that's not letting us move forward. Um, and now they want us to jump to another place. You ready?
Hope it's warmer.
Sort of. 822211 Smoky. Now, it's a place like New York City. And all I could see is a whole bunch of people and then lights. But these are lights. This is reflection. This is um, spotlights, sort of, that are actually human beings that are reflecting, that are lighting themselves up bright. So, kind of like lighthouses. So, anyone that needs to let go of that negative can find these lighthouses, for all intents purposes, these lighthouses, and join them. So, for example, right now, 6th Avenue, I look all the way back and I see lighthouses, little tiny spotlights, sort of shining straight up, very bright. And then you can see the whole bunch of people all dressed in like grays and blacks. So all you see is in the middle of all that darkness, you see the brightness. And one of the things that Roxy is even telling me repeatedly is to not focus on the dark, but focus on the light. To allow your eyes to focus on that the brightness of those lights. Because that is where you're going to find your peace. That's where you're going to be able to move on. That's where you're going to be able to continue what you came here for. We all came at this very moment in time for a reason. And it is time to remember that reason and not derail from our task, from our journey. But continue on your journey the best that you can. You may have a moment that you may go into somebody else's lane, so to speak, but they'll honk the horn and you'll be back into your lane. Just remember the light.
Interesting observation is that as dim lights walking down the avenue, when they join up with a bright light, both entities become much brighter. And if more than two gather, that light just continues to intensify.
Mhm. Yes.
I think another way of seeing the street and the people are being seeds in a layer of ground that's maybe not all that deep. And you have the opportunity to gravitate toward what you want, what you see as brightness, as light, as warmth. And then you continue to grow on your own. It's almost if it's like a server, you go to a service station, you pop in, pick up some light, and continue on. You go a little further down the road and you pick up some more light, and it's like, ooh, wow, this is cool.
Mhm.
But your light doesn't diminish as you keep going in and out. Excuse me. It just keeps getting brighter and brighter as you recognize who you are and why you're here and what your particular role is in the greater scheme of things.
Mhm.
Butterfly.
Malayi kavayi mayili kavi oko kalayalari kalayai kalayai. Bless you all, no matter where you are, where you come from, or where you go. The road has been paved for you with much brightness. It is up to you to walk on it. It is up to you to take that road. Many blessings to you and all. Okay, that was just somebody passing by. I guess I got a little too close. Joking. What they're basically saying is you could either focus on the brightness or you could focus on the darkness. Or you can decide to stay in the light and continue to light and try to be so bright that the darkness disappears. That something good comes out of that darkness, which is the energy to continue being brighter and brighter. That is why Jazz's analogy of you go, say, to a gas station, go in, get something, get some light, go next one, get some more light. It is, even though it's dark, there's always something bright, something good that can come out of it. Just be patient. Just stay firm. Don't release that lamp. Don't release that light. Don't release your power to anyone else. Manage yourself so you can remain steadfast in the bright light that you have created, in the soul that you have inside, in the spirit of lightness and positive and bright and goodness and all that is good. You will find yourself there, and you will stay there and continue to ascend by finding those little nuggets of fuel, of brightness, of light, and continue adding to your pile. It's kind of like backwards of Santa Claus. Instead of Santa Claus giving out presents, you're taking in your sack. You're putting in your sack more and more so you can have that as fuel to continue. Don't engage if you don't have to with the negative. Everyone has a right to have an opinion. You just continue in your path silently if you wish or if you want, grabbing those little lights, and before you know it, you'll become brighter than 10 lighthouses. Just continue working on your path. You know what it is. You were headed there. Continue. And I keep hearing love will win. Love will win. Love for yourselves. Love for others. Love for just the existence of humanity. Anything else to add?
No, I'm feeling some of it intense need to move.
Move. You got, did they give you coordinates?
No, it's
Time to go.
mhm.
I'm sorry, I'm back at the water. It was too crowded in New York City. I'm back at the water. Nice and warm. Had to look at it one more time. All right. As we take each breath, you will come down to your particular zero. So 5, take a nice deep breath and exhale. 4, nice deep breath. And as you're exhaling, think of this: I accept the positive. Take a nice deep breath. 3, exhale. And as you do that, love. Just think of the word love. Breathe in. 2, exhale, healing. Just think of that word. 1, breathe in, exhale, oneness, and 0. We are. Exhale. I want to thank everyone that was here with us today, or if you watch this later. Thank you, Jazz, and to all the light beings that showed us today such beautiful places. One was a little too cold, I have to admit, but that's okay. We experienced whatever we need to experience, and within that coldness, there was also warmth. And I just want you to remember we are all part of one. We are all in this united. We send you love. We send you blessings. We love you all. Thank you. Bye.